3 critical mistakes killing your muscle gains. Are your hard-earned gains stalling despite intense workouts? If you're wondering how to build muscle or how to gain muscle fast, the answer might be to fix what you're doing wrong. Today, we're breaking down 5 critical muscle building mistakes that could be killing your progress. This applies to everyone, whether you're a newbie doing a home workout or an experienced lifter crushing your gym workouts. Avoid these pitfalls. We'll hit each mistake with serious science-backed insight and a dash of humor and give you actionable fixes. Let's jump in. Mistake 1. Inconsistent nutrition. You can't build a house without bricks. In muscle terms, those bricks are calories and protein. Inconsistent nutrition, like eating well one day and poorly the rest of the week, or constantly jumping between bulking and cutting, is a recipe for stalled progress. Muscles need a steady supply of nutrients to grow. If you're not eating enough or not eating consistently, you're depriving your body of what it needs to gain muscle. In fact, not eating enough calories and protein can make your body cannibalize muscle for energy. Exactly the opposite of what we want. Imagine trying to bulk up on a random diet. One day you hit your protein goal with chicken and a protein powder shake. The next day you skip meals and barely get any protein. Your muscles are left confused and undernourished. Similarly, if you aim for fat loss and cut calories too hard without keeping protein high, you could burn muscle along with fat. Consistency is key in nutrition, just like in training. Why it kills gains. Building muscle requires an energy surplus, eating slightly more calories than you burn, and sufficient protein for repair. Inconsistent eating, whether too little or even too much junk, means your muscles can't reliably undergo protein synthesis to grow new fibers. One day of overeating protein doesn't make up for 5 days of undershooting it. Your body thrives on routine. Without a nutrient-rich diet, all those gym workouts won't translate into growth. Plus, poor nutrition affects health and wellness, leading to low energy, poor recovery, and subpar performance in workouts. To put numbers on it, experts generally recommend consuming about 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight each day, roughly 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilograms, and maintaining a slight calorie surplus for muscle gain. If you're inconsistently below those targets, your muscles simply don't have the raw materials to grow. How to fix it? Eat for your goals consistently. If muscle gain is the goal, aim for a modest calorie surplus each day, e.g., 250 to 500 calories above maintenance, with plenty of protein. Don't constantly flip-flop between bulking and drastic dieting. During a dedicated bulking phase, accept a bit of fat gain, then cut slowly later for fat loss if needed. But don't try to do both at once with random diets. Prioritize protein and quality food. Include protein in every meal: lean meats, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, legumes. Use a protein powder shake if you struggle to hit your protein target, especially around workouts for convenience. Remember, protein supplies the amino acids for muscle repair. Also, eat complex carbs, rice, oats, sweet potatoes for training energy, and include veggies, fruit for micronutrients. Overall nutrition matters for muscle too. Use smart supplementation. Supplements like creatine can boost strength and muscle energy, and a whey protein shake can help meet protein needs, but they only work if your base diet is solid. They won't make up for a poor diet. Think of creatine, protein powder, etc. as the support crew. Your whole food diet is the star of the show. Plan and track. Plan your meals ahead. It could be as simple as ensuring you have a high-protein breakfast and packing a balanced lunch for work. Consider tracking your calorie and protein intake, at least initially, to build consistency. Apps or food diaries help you stay accountable so your nutrition routine is as disciplined as your gym routine. Consistency here will show up in the mirror and on the barbell. Mistake 2. Neglecting recovery. Sleep and rest. Training hard is only half the battle. The other half is recovery. If you're grinding in the gym or doing brutal home sessions 6 or 7 days a week, sleeping only 5 hours a night, and generally burning the candle at both ends, you are sabotaging your muscle gains. Muscles don't grow during your workout. They grow when you rest, especially during deep sleep. Neglecting recovery. Insufficient sleep, no rest days, high stress is a critical mistake that will absolutely kill your muscle gain rate. Think of sleep as the secret sauce for muscle growth. During quality sleep, your body releases a surge of human growth hormone, HGH, and testosterone, the hormones that repair and build your muscles bigger and stronger. If you cut your sleep short, you blunt this natural muscle building process. There's compelling evidence too. In one study, people who slept only 5.5 hours per night night gained far less muscle than those sleeping 8.5 hours. The 5.5-hour group ended up with 60% less muscle mass, muscle gained, while the well-rested group packed on 40% more muscle mass over the study period. That's a jaw-dropping difference, all because of sleep. Even Dr. Eric Berg emphasizes how crucial recovery is. He notes that poor sleep will drain your muscle mass more than poor diet does, because muscle recovery occurs when you're sleeping. So, if you're proudly preaching no days off or skimping on snooze time, realize that you're actually halting progress and potentially increasing your injury risk and burnout. Remember, working out is the stimulus, but recovery is when the adaptation, muscle growth, happens. This is true for beginners and elite athletes alike. Why it kills gain. Without adequate rest, your body stays in a stressed state. Elevated cortisol, depleted glycogen, nagging micro-injuries. This means slower muscle repair, maybe even muscle breakdown. Overtraining symptoms, constant fatigue, dropping performance, loss of fitness motivation, frequent illness or injuries are all red flags that you're not recovering enough. Lack of sleep also impairs your workout performance. You'll have less energy, strength, and focus for those heavy lifts or high-intensity sessions. It's a double whammy. You can't train as effectively, and you don't recover and grow as effectively either. In short, neglecting recovery is like trying to climb a never-ending hill. You're working hard, but never reaching the top. How to fix it. Prioritize sleep. Make getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night a non-negotiable part of your lifestyle. This is when your muscles actually rebuild. Create a sleep-friendly environment, dark, cool, and quiet, and try to keep a consistent bedtime. If you struggle with sleep, consider strategies like cutting off screen time before bed, magnesium supplementation, or relaxation techniques. Your muscle gains depend on those sleeps more than you think. Schedule rest days. Incorporate at least 1 to 2 rest days per week where you do no intense lifting. This doesn't mean you have to be a couch potato. You can do light activity or mobility work, but give your major muscle groups time to repair. If you've been hammering an upper body workout and are sore, give those muscles 48 hours before you hit them hard again. Remember that growth happens during rest. If taking a day off makes you anxious, reframe it. Rest days are growth days. Listen to your body. If you feel extremely sore or your performance is dipping despite pushing hard, that's a signal to dial back and recover. It might be time for a deload week, reducing training intensity, or an extra night of good sleep. It's better to take 1 step back to allow 2 steps forward, rather than break yourself and be forced to stop entirely. No one ever lost muscle from a few extra rest days, but plenty of people have lost muscle or progress from not taking any. Adopt recovery habits. Support recovery through good nutrition and stress management. Ensure you're eating enough calories and protein to fuel recovery. Underfueling will definitely impair muscle repair. Stay hydrated, since even mild dehydration can hurt performance and recovery. Manage life stress, work, school, etc., because chronic stress elevates cortisol, which can hinder muscle growth. Also, consider active recovery activities like stretching, foam rolling, or yoga on off days to boost blood flow and mobility without taxing your muscles. Treat recovery with the same respect as training. It's part of the program. Mistake 3. Lack of progressive overload and program hopping. So you've been lifting for a while, but you're still benching the same weight as 6 months ago. Sound familiar? The mistake here is failing to apply progressive overload, the gradual increase of stress on the muscles over time, and/or constantly program hopping before your routine can bear fruit. In plain terms, if you're doing the same things every week with no increase in weight, reps, or difficulty, you're not giving your muscles a reason to grow. On the other hand, if you keep switching your workout routine, trying a new program every couple of weeks, chasing the latest trend, you never stick with one long enough to progress. These are two sides of the same coin, and both will stall your gains. Our muscles are amazingly adaptive, but they need to be challenged progressively. The body builds muscle as a response to stress. If the stress training load isn't rising, the muscle has no new reason to grow. Doing 3 sets of 10 with 100 pounds forever will just maintain what you have. Conversely, jumping to a new fancy routine every week might make you sore in new places, but that's mostly because of neural adaptation and novelty, not because you magically stimulated more growth. As a fitness myth, muscle confusion is overrated. In reality, consistency and gradual progression trump randomness. Why it kills gains. Without progressive overload, you plateau. It's that simple. Many lifters get stuck in a comfort zone, lifting the same weights out of habit. Your muscles become efficient at that weight and stop growing. On the flip side, constantly changing programs can prevent progression altogether. As one evidence-based coach put it, constantly jumping jumping from exercise to exercise or program to program harms your strength and muscle building progress more than it helps. You might get a temporary boost when learning a new exercise, mostly your nervous system getting better at the movement, but you won't see meaningful hypertrophy if you don't stick with it and push it harder over time. True muscle growth comes from cumulative training stress. If you're always resetting with new exercises or routines, you never accumulate that momentum. Think of it like this. You wouldn't plant a seed, then dig it up every week to check it. You'd water it and let it grow. Similarly, stick with a solid training plan and gradually up the challenge. Research in sports science confirms that periodized and progressive training programs yield far better strength and size gains than random workouts. As you become more advanced, progressive overload becomes even more crucial because your body becomes more resistant to change. Importantly, applying progressive overload usually means sticking to key exercises and making steady improvements. For example, adding a small amount of weight to your squat or doing one more rep on your pull-ups week by week. This consistent challenge forces your body to adapt by building new muscle. In fact, following a program consistently allows you to engage in progressive overload, and progressive overload is key to building muscle. How to fix it? Follow a program. Patience. Pick a well-designed program. It could be a simple full-body routine, push-pull legs, or an upper-lower split, and commit to it for a decent period, at least 8 to 12 weeks. Give it time to work. Focus on mastering and improving a set selection of exercises rather than constantly trying new things. This consistency will let you actually measure progress. Track your workouts. Keep a workout journal or use a fitness app to log your sets, reps, and weights. This way, you can actively attempt to beat your previous numbers. For example, if last week you did 3 sets of 8 reps with 50 kilograms on the bench press, this week aim for 3x9 with the same weight or 3x8 with 52.5 kilograms. These small improvements each session add up to significant gains over time. Progress might not happen every single workout, but shoot for week-to-week or month-to-month increases. Increase load or reps gradually. Apply progressive overload systematically. You can add weight, do extra reps, add another set, or even slow down the tempo for more time under tension. All are ways to increase the challenge. The classic method is adding a little weight once you hit the top of your rep range. For instance, once you can do 12 reps at a given weight, increase the weight and drop back to 8 reps and build up again. These constant, small challenges signal your body to grow. Remember, progressive overload is key to building muscle, so make sure that engine is always running, even if sometimes it's in first gear. Avoid excessive program hopping. By all means, don't do exactly the same routine forever. Some variation is good to avoid boredom and plateaus, but stick to a core plan long enough to reap gains. If you're feeling bored, you can swap an exercise here or there, e.g. barbell rows instead of dumbbell rows, but keep the fundamental structure and lifts. Think of your key compound exercises as benchmarks you keep improving. Only consider a major program change when you've plateaued across the board or completed a training cycle. Even then, any changes should be strategic, not random. Consistency beats novelty when it comes to building muscle. Focus on long-term progress. Adopt the mindset that you're in this for the long haul. Real muscle is built over months and years, not days. Stay motivated by the progress you do make, no matter how small. A 5-pound increase on your lift or an extra rep is a win. Those wins compound over time. In fact, seeing yourself get stronger over weeks and months is one of the best sources of fitness motivation. Nothing is more motivating than knowing that today you're lifting more or performing better than you did last month. Trust that process of gradual gains. To quickly recap, the 5 mistakes to avoid are ego lifting, inconsistent nutrition, skipping compound lifts, neglecting recovery, and lack of progressive overload. These pitfalls catch everyone from beginners to advanced lifters at times, but now you know how to identify and fix them. The formula for building muscle isn't a magic supplement or secret hack. It's about training smart, eating right, and giving your body time to grow. Clean up these mistakes, and you'll unleash your true muscle building potential, whether you train at a hardcore gym or in your garage. Remember, gaining muscle is as much a science as it is an art. We've kept the tone serious and evidence-based here, but the takeaway is simple. Be consistent, be patient, and don't sabotage yourself. Train hard and smart, fuel your body, prioritize recovery, and keep challenging yourself progressively. Do this, and you'll be on the path to new gains for years to come. No more spinning your wheels. Now time for some action. If you found this guide helpful, smash that like button and subscribe to Flex and Shred for more no BS, science-backed fitness content. We've got plenty of tips on strength training, nutrition, fat loss, and workouts with a bit of humor coming your way. Drop a comment below about which mistake you plan to fix or share any epiphanies you had. Let's help each other out on this journey. Stay motivated, keep learning, and let's flex and shred those goals together. Thanks for watching. Now, go get those gains.